What's up, everybody? It's Mandomilli from Tattooshop, and today we're at the beach. That was gay, huh? Today we're at the beach. Boom! We gotta add the exploding shit. And I'm gonna tell you guys my life story. A lot of people want to know about my whole life, and I'm gonna give it to you. You know, this is one of the spots I like to come to. I never came here. I never came here. This is my favorite spot. It's my new favorite spot, man. This place is sick, man. Like, you got the ocean on this side, ocean on this side. I'm like a fucking eagle on a rock. I feel like Aquaman right now. But to be all serious though, man, you know, we just hit 60K on Instagram. We never thought we were gonna hit any type of 1,000 on Instagram, man. So shout out to all the future millionaires out there watching these videos. We really do love you guys, and we appreciate all you guys for watching. The tattoos, the tips, everything that you guys love, man, I'm still gonna push it out for you guys. Don't worry about it. But I just want to appreciate all the 60K people that follow me and show me love. The DMs go crazy every single day, man. Pockets heavy. But, you know, my life's feeling good. Life is great. But I kind of want to let you guys know how I got started with tattooing, so you guys can kind of get a feel of like where I came from and where I am and what I do, you know. So I'm kind of just gonna start with one day I went to go to a tattoo shop and get a tattoo. I just turned 18. I went into the tattoo shop. I'm not gonna say their name because like I low-key don't fuck with them, you know, fuck them. But I don't want to give them the praise either of like, you know, like, oh, I helped them out and shit. Like I'm not saying I'm all that or nothing, but in general, man, fuck them. You know, they didn't. I went in there to go get a tattoo. They said I didn't have enough money. That's the reason I'm saying fuck them. And then, so I only had $80, and my tattoo that I wanted, I guess, was $100. So I asked them, hey, what can I get for $80? They were like, nothing. You can't get nothing for $80. I don't know if they're having a bad day or what, or you know, I wasn't worth their time. No tattoos at all. I just wanted one so bad. I even told them like, oh, let me get 3 dots on my little arm right here. You know how people get the 3 dots, and they still said no. They were like, nah, man, can't get nothing for $80. So I was like, damn. It really hurt, man. It hurt my soul. I was like, I just wanted a tattoo. You know, my mom, my dad are tatted. My sister was tatted. Pretty much everybody in my family had tattoos besides me, so I was kind of feeling left out. Anyways, I went home that night because it kind of got late. I went to the park, whatever. Went to my house, and then I was on OfferUp. This is when OfferUp first came out. So, you know, they used to sell guns on there, dogs, you know, tattoo machines. They still sell tattoo machines on there, but anyways, it was just like a bunch of random stuff when OfferUp first came out. So I went on there and I found a tattoo machine for $120. And I told the guy my whole little story. I said, today I went to the tattoo shop, whatever, told him the whole thing. I was like, I only have $80. Can I please buy this tattoo machine? And he was like, yes. And he met up with me the next morning at the park that I always go to, Harbor City Park, or shout out Harbor City. You know, that's where I grew up. So, you know, it's a big part of my life. But, all right, before all of this, I'm just gonna recap one time. Before all of this, when I was growing up, my mom used to buy me drawing pencils and books, drawing books every single year for Christmas, my birthday, everything. You know, and I never filled any of them up. I would just draw a couple things and kind of throw it away, and then I'll just draw on my school papers at school, random like little like desks, all kinds of weird shit. I would never draw in the books that she got me. I'm sorry, Mom. I know you waste a lot of money. I love you. You know, shout out my mom. But back to what I was saying, he brought it to me the next morning, and he was like, here, man, you know, I hope you do a good job. And I'm pretty sure his name was Paul. If I can remember right, I was like, thanks, Paul. He was like, I got you, little man, you know, have a good one. I was like, thanks, man. And right after that, I went straight to my best friend Pops' house. Hey, shout out Pops, man. Love you, bro. And I was like, bro, can I tattoo at your house? I want to tattoo myself. He's like, fuck yeah. If you give me a tattoo. I was like, of course I'm gonna give you a tattoo. Like, what? And also my boy Gil was there too. Shout out my boy Gil. It was lit, man. I got them busted out the machine. Didn't even know how to set it up. You know, I'm pretty sure I forgot a couple things. Also, it was an old school rotary machine, or it was a coil machine, old school coil machine, and it was super loud, man. It wasn't even like tuned or anything. It was really bad, and I mean, if you think about it, I got the machine for $80. The whole kit, it came with a whole kit, so you know, it's pretty bad. I didn't even know if the needles were expired, ink was expired or anything, or If any of it was infected, I just used it. I didn't even give a fuck. I didn't even know any better. Just used it. And I tattooed my best friend Pops, myself, and my best friend Gil. And we all got tattoos that day, man. That's just started off the whole journey. And for the next 3 to 4 years, I would tattoo at parties, tattoo all my friends. You know, I would just tattoo everybody. Never, ever, ever once, you know, like, gave a fuck what kind of tattoo it was. Also, I never progressed. I would always do just black tattoos. I barely shaded. I would just do like little, anything that had black in it. I was like, oh, you want that? All right, boom, and I'll do it. I didn't have stencil paper. I didn't have a stencil machine, anything like that. So every tattoo that I ever did growing up, I used to look at the design on my phone, and I used to draw it on the skin with a pen. And then I would come in with the machine, hit it all really like lightly, first try to get the stencil on there, and then go back over it deeper just to get all the lines in. And then I'll start blacking on my black. So one tattoo took me like maybe 3 hours, and it was like probably like this big. So because I had to do the extras, and that was every single time I did a tattoo. So, you know, if I was at a party, I was getting all faded, I was doing the tattoo for 3 hours as I was getting drunk, girls everywhere, all my homies there, like it was crazy. 3 hours. It was like my minimum tat was like 3 hours. Anyways, you know, I started hanging out with, you know, all my friends, or I was hanging out with them every day, but I started doing more tattoos because everybody wanted them. My ass is hurting bad, bro. Who picked this spot? So anyways, you know, through all of that partying and drinking and tattooing and stuff, I ended up getting somebody pregnant, and I had my son. And my son was just a little baby, and I started, I actually moved to Oregon. My son was born in Oregon. I lived with my mom, and I was doing tattoos out there for like all my cousins and all my friends and stuff. And once my son was born, my mom was like, hey son, you know, everybody keeps coming to you for these tattoos, you know, maybe you should start charging. Because I didn't have a job at the time, because I had just broke my leg. There's a bunch of shit. My mouth's getting dry from talking, all the salt water and shit. I didn't bring no water, man. So basically, I broke my leg, all that stuff. And then my mom told me I had to start charging money. So even if it was 10 bucks, 20 bucks, whatever. So one of my cousins hit me up and was like, hey, Commando, can I come get a tattoo today? And I was like, sure. Just give me 20 bucks. And they were like, yeah, sure. And I was like, wow. And I couldn't believe it that I was making $20 off a tattoo that I would have done for free. I was making money off of something that I would have done for free. Think about that. It's crazy. I never would have thought something that you can do that you love so much that you can make money on it. It's crazy. At that time, I was really starting to get into it, like, not like into it, but like the moment that I knew I could make $20, it like made me want to tattoo even more, right? So now I knew I could make $20. I would charge $20 for anything, any tat, even if it was big as fuck, small as fuck. I was like, hey man, give me 20 bucks, because I knew that would work. And they did every time. So I was making $20 every day. Or every time I did a tattoo, I knew I was getting 20 bucks. So it was a good feeling. Basically, right after all that happened, I moved back down to California. My son was already born. And I moved back down to California, where I worked. My whole life, I've worked 29 jobs. So I always had a job and then tattooed for fun. So I'd always work, tattoo for fun. And then once I moved back over here, back to California, my son was getting older. And I was like, man, I need to do something better with my life. I wasn't like really drinking. I actually still was drinking and stuff, but I wasn't drinking like and partying as often as I was before my son was born. So then I went to welding school. And as I was going to welding school, I was still doing tattoos. And I had my son, and we were living at my aunt's house. And my auntie Eunice, shout out you, I love you. And my cousin Jesse, and all my cousins, we all lived at the same house. And she let me rent a room from her. And, you know, I think I paid like 400 bucks, and me and my son had our own room. It was pretty fucking fire, can't lie. It was one of the best times I ever had, because I had my own room with my son. You know, we weren't with his mom. His mom was already out the picture. she's like a, you know, a real piece of shit. So we didn't really like being around her, you know. And she also had like abusive boyfriends and shit that would like hit her, and like she was just like not smart. So I wouldn't let my son go around her, and it got to the point where I had my son full time. It was pretty crazy, but anyways, we kind of just like lived there for a while. And I was going to welding school and doing tattoos, and he would get babysat by my auntie, and you know, everything was good. I would pay her, and it was nice. And then I moved out, and I moved in to my other auntie, Auntie Maggie. Shout out Auntie Maggie, I love you. And my primo and my cousin Fern, man. And that house was my favorite because I lived with my aunt, you know? It was like the best shit ever. Like my dad's sister always protected me, always had my back no matter what, man. So, you know, I never really had to clean. Only had to clean up after myself. I never had to make my own food, which I did, but she would always cook every single day. And she cooked for my son. She also babysat my son while I was in welding school. Met my girlfriend that I have right now, Diana. Shout out Diana, I love you. And it was like my whole life changed when I was in welding school. I lived at my aunt's house, and you know. So anyways, I started almost finishing welding school. I was hanging out with Diana. I had my son at my aunt's house, and I was in welding school. I was almost done with welding school and finally finished. And then I was tattooing like every other day, you know, whenever I could, doing small stuff, not too much money, just regular old stuff. Just for kind of like, just to buy my son diapers and pay my Auntie Maggie whatever she needed for, you know, whatever I needed to do. That's what I did with my tattooing. Then I went to welding school, finished welding school. And then I found this brochure for underwater welding school. So I went to underwater welding school. For 9 months, and that is in Houston. So I'm in LA, and Houston's like way the fuck over here in Texas. It was like, the flight was like 5 hours. So you can only imagine how far the drive was. So I ended up moving to Houston to go to school. And at that time, I, you know, made up this plan with my son's mom, my son's mom's grandma, that, you know, I was gonna leave him, you know, with his mom while I went over there. And, you know, that's like one of the biggest regrets I ever made, because, you know, it ended up changing my life completely, because I kind of just dumped my son on her, even though she wasn't ready to watch him or be his mom or anything like that. So I kind of just like, she used to have him on the weekends. So it was one of those weekends where she was going to have him, but then in Monday, when Sunday came around, I was going to be gone. I was going to be all the way in Houston. So me and the grandma kind of plotted up this little thing, like I'm going to drop him off, and then she's going to come watch him. And then when it's time for me to come pick him up, I'm going to be gone in Houston already. And the grandma was like, yes, that's okay. You know, I get it. I understand it. You know, you're going to be doing good and all this stuff. You know, she was really cool. And so we did that. My son's mom was really upset. And, you know, we that just happened, you know. And then, you know, she started to do pretty good with him. So like of what she would show people, Instagram, what she would tell me, you know. So everything was really nice. Everything felt good. I was going to school. I was, you know, getting all my classes done, passing all my classes. You know, about to better my career, better my life for me and my son. So when I came back, I was gonna have my son again full time. I would always tell her, like, when I come back, I'll get him back. She would always call me, tell me all these things. But you know, it ended up working out for a long time until it didn't. One morning, I was on my way to school, and I got a phone call that my son was hurt. She called me crying and was like, you know, he's not okay. He won't wake up, and like kind of like just screaming and crying. I didn't understand. I was like, and I just talked to them that morning too. It was a pretty crazy day. So I was like, what are you talking about? She just kept saying that she's sorry and that I need to hurry up and come home. And she kind of wasn't giving me too many details because she was like in the moment. like on her way to the hospital, so it was kind of freaky. So I kind of just headed over there to the hospital, to the airport, and got on a plane. She just kept saying that he was gone. She just kept texting me that he's gone. And I was like in the airplane, and I was getting the messages, but I wasn't able to text back. It had like a one-way Wi-Fi type of thing. It was really fucked up. So the whole plane ride was like 4 hours long, 5 hours long. I was just crying the whole time because I couldn't reply, you know? And I was just like, what the fuck is happening? And I would just get her messages, incoming messages saying like, you know, he's gone. They can't revive him. He fell. He hit his head. Like weird shit, man. I didn't know if it was real or not. But I was going anyways, you know. And I got to the hospital, and you know, it was real. You know, my son was he was already brain dead by the time I got to the hospital, and they couldn't save him. And they just kept him on life support so everybody can, like, you know, they could see if you know, his brain would work. You know, he hit his head too hard. He went into cardiac arrest, and you know, they pumped him with a bunch of stuff to try to revive him, which probably ended up hurting him even more. But you know, he fell from 3 stories high from a window. My son's mom left him at home alone, and he fell out of a 3-story window. She just left him home alone. We don't know how long she was gone, but she was gone. And he hit his head too hard, and he ended up passing away. Like, he already had passed away when all this happened, but you know, they kept him on life support, so it looked like he was breathing. And you know, his body was normal. His body wouldn't change color yet because they were making him breathe. They were forcing him to breathe. But every single day that he was at the hospital, they would take him off life support and see if he would breathe or move or react, or his pupils will change. They would do it every day for 10 minutes. They would keep him off life support, and so we would just be in there kind of just watching him lying there dead already, just brain dead, not breathing, not moving, like nothing. He was just dead. They did that every day for 4 days in a row to see if he would like move or anything or breathe, take a breath. That's all they wanted to do was take a breath, and then they could, like, they said they could have saved him and shit. But you know, he didn't. So we'll just sit there and just encouraging him, like, come on, wake up, and he never did. So that happened within like 4 days, and once we like finally just like accepted it and you know, told the people that they can finally take him, they were just like, okay, you know, we're taking him, all this stuff, whatever. So he ended up just passing away. Like 4 days go by and he's gone forever. And couldn't see his body no more. He's gone. And it's pretty fucked up. I used to cry about it a lot, but I talk about it like almost every day. All my clients, they ask me about it. So I got to the point where I could talk about it without getting upset. You know, it's kind of just like a normal conversation for me now. You know, I could cry. You know, when I tell people and they cry and shit, it gets me a little choked up sometimes. But I prefer not to sometimes. But after that happened, I got a phone call from my school saying that I need to come back to school. Like 1 day after my son, we finally had to say goodbye to him. And they told me that I can't miss any more days or they're gonna kick me back a whole month of school. So I have to go to school for another month. So I had to go back to school the next day. So I was only in California for 5 days, and then I had to go back to school. So I flew back to Houston the day after my son technically passed away and started school again for the next 2 months. So, you know, those months were the craziest months because everything was numb. Also, I stopped drinking and smoking vape and everything like a week before my son passed away because I knew I only had 2 months left of school, and I knew when I got back from school, I was gonna be like the fucking perfect dad. No more drinking, no more smoking, no more partying. I was gonna work and provide and, you know, be wealthy and have a good family and be rich, you know, rich in love, you know. Had a new girlfriend, everything was good. So I went back to Houston and I had to go back to school. So went back, finished my 2 months of school. I stopped drinking, stopped smoking, did everything. So I was like sober for the first time in a very long time. Had no son. I was with some of the best people I ever met in my life. The coolest people, man. Shout out my boy Isaac, Sour Cream, Leo, and John. Miss you guys, man. Love you guys. You guys are some of my best friends, man. One of my top best friends in the whole world. So I miss you guys. And we all had to finish school together, man. They were there to support me, and they helped me through it a lot. They would offer me to drink every single day, but I had to tell them no. They didn't believe that I stopped because I was like one of the drinkers, one of the boys. And anyways, life seemed pretty shitty at that time. But the whole time that I was in welding school, I did tattoos. And my first month I was in underwater welding school, I worked as a forklift driver overnights. So I would stay all night long, wake up, or stay all night long. In the morning, I'll go to sleep for a couple hours, and then have to go to school all day, then come home, sleep for like, I don't even think I think sleep for 1 or 2 hours, and then go back to work all night long again. And I used to do that for 1 month until I started tattooing. Started booking up my client. I started being able to book clients. And the way that I was booking my clients was I was going to other tattoo shops' Instagrams on my phone, going to all of their followers and DMing them all the same thing, saying, hit me up if you want to get tatted, hit me up if you want to get tatted, hit me up, like I'm new here, things like that. And that really helped me build a clientele in Houston, a place that I'd never even been before. And that was after just 1 month of being there. I would say 2 months of being there, I had clients every single weekend. And it got to the point where I would get at least 1 client a day for the remainder time that I was there. So I was tattooing all the time. That's where I started to get better at my craft, started learning a little bit more, not too much more, but enough. It wasn't not until I left Houston is when things got real. I started working in Long Beach as an underwater welder, and I used to tattoo after work because at that point I came back to California. People from California seen the stuff I was doing in Houston and were like, you got a lot better. I want to get tatted by you now, this and that. So I was making time to do the tattoos because I love tattooing. I love my job, and I also love tattooing too. So I would work all day and then tattoo after work. And everything was working out, everything was fine, until it wasn't. I got a slow season at my job. It was 3 months long. We only worked once a week for 3 months. It was crazy. Since I was new, they put me on I only worked one day every week for 3 months. It was crazy. So during that time, I started tattooing every day. Everything was starting to become amazing. And my girlfriend used to film videos of me on Instagram making my videos, or making videos of me doing the tattoos that I was doing at her apartment. And I loved it so much. So I only had 1,000 followers at the time, and I was getting like 3K views on each video. It was insane. So I ended up doing that, and I ended up making enough money to support me and my girlfriend, pay our rent, get our food, everything we needed, to the point where when my job called me back saying that they need me back full time again, I was able to say no and try to follow my career in the tattoo industry. So I did. And it's been the most amazing thing I've ever done, the best decision I ever made, because, not only did I tattoo every day, but one of my videos on Instagram blew up to like 8 million views. And I went from having 1K to like 10K in like 1 day. 10K followers. And that sparked up a huge, I had like 60 people hitting me up at the same time trying to get tattoos, which before I would have like 1 person a day, sometimes 3 people a week. Like I wasn't doing the best, but I was doing enough. And then it became where now I had too many people that I could handle. So then it became more fun because now I had more pieces to do, better opportunities, more tattoos. Life was getting better. And once that happened, I seized the moment. As soon as I seen it coming, I grabbed a hold of it, and I'm going for the ride. And right now I'm still on the ride. I'm still on a sick ass high right now. And I'm just keep going up and up and up. And I'm making my videos more and more popping. YouTube's doing really good. We're at 16K on YouTube. TikTok's doing great. you know, just started going on TikTok a couple months ago, and we're already doing amazing. So basically, this whole video is about, you know, staying on track. You know, you'll have fun in the beginning, and then once it's time to get serious, don't be dumb. You know, lock in, get serious. Especially if something that you love, when something that you love becomes real, take advantage of it and ride it out. Right now, I'm riding right now, and I'm having a good time. I'm having a good ride. You know, we don't know how long it's gonna last. We hope it lasts forever. We're gonna try hard every single day to make it happen. But, you know, I love all you guys watching these videos. And, you know, if you guys have any questions about tattooing or wanna, you know, wanna know anything regarding tattooing or my life, you know, drop a comment. Like, make sure you guys all like, comment, subscribe as well, man, because we really appreciate all the love and support. We see everybody's comments too. Don't think we don't see them. We're gonna start replying to everybody's comments who comments underneath the video, man. So, you know, basically, man, a dream's a dream until you make it reality. So don't be a pussy. Take a chance. Life's a gamble, man. Gamble everything you have. Don't be a bitch. You'll never know what could happen until you take the chance. So this is your chance to make it happen. I'm living proof that when you do something every day, good things happen. So make sure whatever you guys do it 100%, do it every single day, and I promise you, good things will happen, man. Shout out to all the future millionaires out there watching these videos. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys. I'm Mandomilli from Tattoostattooshop. Peace. Ah, my fucking ass hurts. Ah!